about this year. One, my surprise from last video when I was like, Windsor is not permanent, I'll explain more about that later, was we put an offer in for a house that I have been looking at for 3 months. And I thought it was just never gonna happen for me. I didn't think they were gonna wait for me, but they did, and we got it. I'm going to the notary this week to finalize everything, and I'm just beyond ecstatic. So Windsor, myself, my husband, my kids, and 3 cats will be moving into a 5-bedroom home, and it has a heated driveway and a 2-car garage, and I am just so happy that my family is going to have a home to grow up in. So, but anyway, there's that, and I just got done with an interview for a magazine that may or may not be controversial, which I'm really excited about. And last but not least, our family reached 600,000 subscribers, and I can't believe it. But I'm just going to be rambling on today about stuff. I have some things about the ASMR community that I'll be talking about, so go ahead and sit back. I tried to do lighting correctly on this, but sit back, relax, and let's chit-chat, I guess. So right now I'm just going to be like, hopefully, pushing back my flyaways with the Lush Sea Spray Hair Mist that I just bought. I didn't have any, like, reason to, but I bought it because we went to the store, and the store's like 3 hours away. Ew, no, I just made it so greasy. Oh, Christ. But anyway, I had my ears pierced the other day with my daughter. I got mine pierced to show her they didn't hurt, so I was like, alright, I'll get my side pierced, and they're pretty sore still. Like, is this cartridge or cartilage? I don't know. I can never get that word right, but. So the first thing I'm going to be doing is, I just recently started using this, what's the brand? Josie Moran Argan, Pure Argan Milk. Pure Argan Milk. And it's basically a hydrating serum, but it's not a serum, and I do it before I moisturize. Today's video is not meant to by any means be like professional, and I don't know why I'm applying this like all wrong, my god. Okay. But it's kind of like a lo-fi video without all the editing. Like, I'm gonna leave in any cars or like not loud sounds, but we'll see. So I never thought that our family, and if you're new here and just starting to watch, I call like us family members, like you guys, like all of us, like a big family, because a long time ago, when I did not have my children, it was a very bad time in my life, and I had nobody. My husband and I were court ordered to stay away from each other for a period of a month, I think it was. His family and my family were like, it was a huge thing. I had nobody, and I was doing ASMR, and the only people I had to talk to were you guys. So I'm gonna let that sit for a moment. But usually I would be applying a moisturizer, but I was recommended to use the Tarte Rainforest Primer. Rainforest of the Sea Quench Primer. I don't know what is all over. Oh. It was the soap poisoning. No, I don't know what I'm saying. Anyway. So all I had was you guys, and I started calling you guys my family because ultimately you guys treated me like I was part of yours, you would tell your story and relate to me and care about me when I had nobody else to care about me or, give me a chance or trust in me or anything. So that's why I call you guys my family members. But moving on. Lately, I decided I was going to go and restart Twitter. Like, do my Twitter account. I don't know if that's a lot or enough, but we're gonna see because I do it like this. Dab, dab, on the nose, on the forehead, chin, cheek, over here. Okay, so you're right. Even if it's a lot, I need my face to be hydrated. But I was on Twitter a long time ago, and it was after my dad died, and I decided to go on Twitter and just be very hateful. I said some very nasty things over there that I'm not happy I said those things, but I was taught a very big lesson in humility and just overall what happens to people when they're unhappy. They usually take that out on others. So I completely deactivated my Twitter. I never went back until recently. And I think now we're almost at 4,000 people over there. Twitter's not really big for me. I don't post very often, and I'll tell you why, because I learned a lesson recently. But anyway, I started using recently, I was recommended the Smashbox Foundation because the Kat Von D that I use keeps oxidizing on my face. And whether I put powder on it, like if I set it, or setting spray or powder, whatever, it never seems to work. But some people I noticed have trouble with like shaking this up, like it's such a thick thing. So what I do, it's like Bob Ross, I put it between my legs, like in my knees, and I go, and I shake it like really hard. It really mixes it up though, like, but anyway. So I go over there and I follow all my favorite creators, and it came to my attention that some of those creators aren't very nice. And you learn that in person, well, not in person, but off of YouTube, they're very different people with how they present themselves. And it like turned me off completely to their channels. So if you hear snoring, it is Windsor. Since he's a Cavalier King Charles Spaniel, their faces are like flat, so they have kind of a little bit of breathing. There's a name for it, but it doesn't affect him or anything. So here's this, and what I do. Windsor pupper, you can't be snoring. Is I dab. Well, actually, since I'm using a beauty blender, I would actually be doing this. But anyway, you'll hear me get off topic a little bit. My shade, before I forget, is 44 Light Cool because I have cool undertones on my pale ass face. So moving on. There's like this situation that I am no longer part of and I want nothing to be a part of, and it's really not any drama or anything that everybody's gonna be like, oh my goodness, like, who are you talking about? It's not like that, because I don't care to talk about these people. I don't know these people. I don't want to know these people, but basically, there was like a smear campaign going on over there against another creator, and I personally don't know all the details that happened. I don't, I joined this situation to tell my story because I personally had experience with this person, and I found, the way they presented themselves to me a little bit forward, a little bit creepy, but overall they were nice. But it turns out they weren't being very nice to other people, and it turned out that there were a couple creators that reached out to this person and completely wanted them off the internet, like, hands down, like, get off, we don't want you here. And me, like, after telling my story, I was kind of like, you know what, I would never try to push somebody off of a platform when they technically, I don't know, I can't involve myself in it, but basically, the way that they presented themselves, I just didn't like, I didn't respect, and I left the situation, and that's it. But what I learned from it was, after that, I went and did an in real life collab with Phoenician Sailor, and I will never forget that night. That was probably one of the best nights I've had in like a year, from being just depressed and not getting out of the house. And Phoenician's name is Scott, and we did the Winter's Bone roleplay, and it was so fun. Can't tell you like the laughs we had, but we talked, and we talked about a lot of stuff, and it came to my attention that just something little that had to do with the situation previously. But back to Twitter, which I'll get back to Scott later because it's so hilarious, like the stuff that went down that night. Like, there was a huge snowstorm, so I ended up having to stay overnight in this Airbnb that he bought. It was hilarious. It was so much fun. I have never laughed so hard, like, in a year, at least a year. And it was just nice to meet up with somebody who loves ASMR as much as I do. Because what I think I'm learning from Twitter is people are forgetting that ASMR is a feeling. It's not a monetization status. It's not about views. It's not about numbers. And it's unfortunate that certain people think that that's what it is, and I think that's wrong, you know. But anyway, I would have been done with this by now, but I keep talking. But long story short, to make a long story short, I shoved an entire bag of jelly beans up my ass. So moving on, I did an interview today with, like I said, this magazine, and they were asking me about not safe for work ASMR. And I've been seeing a lot of shade with these creators putting down people who do not safe for work ASMR. And my take on sexuality and ASMR is autonomous sensory meridian response in itself is by no means sexual. It's just not. I don't like, it's intimate. There's definitely a form of intimacy, but then again, you have to understand, you can make any situation sexual. I have a hair in my eye or something. It hurts. So anyway, I'm like picking at my eye now. Oh god, don't get a hair in it. Don't get a hair in it. Okay, we're good. So anyway, there's a little stigma going on recently with just like sexuality and ASMR. And you guys know that I do my Patreon and OnlyFans and stuff like that. And it's not full blown out like nude. It's just, my goal is to bring intimacy into ASMR and show that you should be able to be comfortable with whatever you do. There should be no sex shaming. We are in 2019. Like, why is this still happening? But anyway, back to Twitter. It's come to my attention that, you know, certain creators have been putting down not safe for work ASMR, and like, god, there's so much stuff. And I'm over here and I'm like, you know, I've run my mouth. There is a situation with a creator called Diamond ASMR, and I want to point out that I have absolutely no ill will towards Diamond. I think she's a great creator. I actually had my ass handed to me over this situation because she commented on one of my videos and then deleted it over the Mommy Tucks You In series, and it turns out a different creator started that when I thought that I did. And I was saying, like, well, not to her directly, but I was like basically saying, like, you know, there's no creativity recently and things like that. And it turns out that Jellybean Green, I think it was her who started the Mommy Tucks You In series, but it was a nice lesson. And, you know, I just don't like when people comment on my video and then delete it, knowing that I'm going to get the notification, and that's why I was a little bit salty. But overall, you know what I mean? It's like childish. Like, it's like the Kardashians where people are like, Kim, there are people dying. Like, that's literally what it is. Like, Twitter is, you know, I don't want it to, you know what, I'm gonna refocus on my face real quick. Light's gonna change. There we go. But it's just crappy because it's like, people forget why we're here in the first place, like why we're on this platform, and my reasoning for it is to make ASMR. I'm putting a little bit more on my face because there's like redness going on here, but you know, there's no room for drama and the ASMR community, I hate it. Like, the only drama that I have these days is like my mother-in-law and like family stuff, and like now it's like what furniture I'm gonna buy for my house, and I'm ecstatic over it. So when I get on Twitter and I see that stuff, it really upsets me. You know, there's a difference. For example, I 100%, you know, do this also as a living. Like, I make a living from doing this stuff, and, you know, that's important, but I don't get on and complain. I've definitely asked privately, you know, certain questions about, like, you know, well, what happens with this, and, you know, just stuff like that. It has taken me like 10 minutes to do my foundation when in real life it would take like 5, like, so I'm sorry if I keep talking. I'm about to take Windsor to Petco, where the pets go, and I don't want to look like I'm walking in there like creepy, even though I look creepy naturally, so yeah, there's that. And what I wanted to say about like the ASMR community is, you know, I've worked very hard, and when I say worked, I've put everything into ASMR. Like, I love it so much, I care about it so much that I don't want to see drama in the community at all. Do you know what I mean? If you hear my cat meowing in the background, she's on her periods. But anyway, so what I'm going to be doing now is putting on my concealer, and I use it used to be called Benefit Erase Paste, but it is now called and renamed Benefit Boing, I don't know, and the number 1. Yeah. So what I do, I probably have like my lazy eye when I take off my glasses, because my vision is so bad. My eye like goes one different way, sort of. So I'm sorry if that's happening. It's pretty dramatic, but I just take the end of my brush, because I don't, you know, practice proper hygiene, so, and then I just do little dabs under my eyes, like so. That one was a little bit too close to my eye, but that's okay. But yeah, like, we can't forget the reason why we're here as creators. I know why I'm here, and there are times that I'm petty, you know, and there are times that I complain about little minuscule things that don't matter, but that's the thing, is that they don't matter. You should never, you know, create, I don't know, I would never go after to try to take somebody off the internet, unless it was that time that my stalker got on, and he was like, you know, Sarah deserves to die, and I'm like, okay, so maybe that's a little bit too far, like, we should probably do something about that. But yeah, never forget why you're on this platform. I've personally went through the whole thing where, alright, I gotta get my cat, I'll be right back. Literally, that's hilarious. Did you guys hear that? Like, I'm not editing this out, but basically what happened was, I gave the cat to my husband, and she like went and just latched. So anyway, I went through like all of that, where, you know, you start seeing that, I don't know how to explain it, other than we just can't forget why we're here. And remember, like, that's why I always tell you guys, like, I could never be here without you, because it's true. Like, what am I gonna do? You know what I mean? Like, am I gonna make videos for, like, nobody to watch? I don't make them just for me. I make them for you guys. And I don't know. I just think that people forget that, you know, you guys are more than just numbers. You're humans. Especially me as a viewer. You know, I watch ASMR channels, and there are certain channels that, again, after joining Twitter, you find out that you just don't agree, and that's fine, but it kind of takes away from it. Like, for example, like, then you go on, I don't know, YouTube afterwards, and you're like, I don't agree with, like, the political or something. It's just, like, little things, but whenever it gets involved in, like, drama, that's when it becomes a problem for me, and that's whenever it becomes hard to watch, like, their ASMR. And I'm sure that's happened with, like, you guys, maybe, like, unless those people have already left, but maybe you don't agree. And of course we can all agree to disagree, but I don't know, I hope I'm coming across correctly. But anyway, I'm about to apply the Urban Decay eyeshadow primer potion. And this is the anti-aging. I don't know how this helps by any means, but I just wipe it straight on my eye, get bacteria on the little stick, and proceed to put it right back in the tube. So yeah, I'm thinking of leaving Twitter again. Only this time I didn't go on a hate campaign for people because I was unhappy. This time it's because I'm watching other people's hate campaigns and I'm just unhappy. It completely spoiled me watching certain creators, and because whenever you're watching the ASMR, you're thinking well, they said this and they're acting like this, why? You know what I mean? So I don't know. But yeah, I'm really rough on my face. I'm pressing down so. But I'm really, really excited. You guys, for those of you who don't know my story, I was thinking about doing a reminder kind of thing, what has happened in my past and how far that I've come from that. Because 4 years ago today, not today, but 4 years ago, yes, I would be outside picking up cigarette butts off the ground. I had no money, I had no friends. I was involved in a lot of things, especially with my kids and everything like that. Nobody cared, nobody wanted to listen to me. And I'm not saying that as if I were a victim, because I did cause a lot of the situations that came to me. What I'm saying is, it's hard to picture that I'm here today compared to where I was 4 years ago. But I needed to learn those life lessons. I needed to become a better person for myself before I could become a better mother to my children, and that's exactly what I did. I'm very proud for how far that I've come mentally. I still, of course, suffer from depression and things like that. But anyway, I take, I'm sorry, I'm getting way too ahead of myself. I'm taking the Huda Beauty Pound Cake Baking and Setting Powder. I don't know if this is translucent. Is that what that would be? I don't know, but I put it right over here. I don't set my whole face. I put it right over here and under my eyes because I wear glasses, so. And to create a base for my eyeshadow. I do makeup all wrong, and I try to use the excuse of creativity, when in reality I just suck at makeup. So yeah. But I can't believe we bought a house. It's 5 bedrooms, 2 baths, 2-car garage, and a heated driveway. But you have the option whether or not to use that, because obviously you're using the heat out my arm, and it costs money. So there's that. I've been working really hard to get my credit up, and finally got somewhere with it. I followed all the steps from my financial advisor, and I saved money. I really, really saved. I'm going to be doing my eyebrows next, and using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz in the color Soft Brown. And even though it looks like I don't have any eyebrows, I promise you I have some, so bear with me. So yeah, there's just, it feels like 2019 already has been such an accomplishment. Doing my first in real life collab. What I'm doing is I'm filling in a freckle right here because I really like that beauty mark that I have on it. And this is what I do. You probably won't be able to see me, but I'll explain the best I can. I get so close to my face with the brush that I twist out a whole bunch of the pencil, and I just do an outline by the bottom first, and then the top. That was way too outlined. Hold on one second. And then I just, you know what I mean? Do the curvature. I did that way too thick. Great. And then I just wipe it off if I mess up. Which I did. And, yeah, that's pretty much it. And I just fill them in. I mean, it'll look a lot different than this, but anyway, there's something in my eye again. So, you know, meeting Scott, it took us like 7 hours, because I got there, well, you know what, I take that back, because it was noon. It took us about, 6 or 7 hours to film, and like, we took 2 breaks, one to talk, you know, and finish, and the other to get McDonald's. And our conversations, like, we just talked about so much, like, the ASMR community, and, oh my eye, damn. We talked about, like, the ASMR community, and just what's going on in it right now, and the potential of it, and the negatives of it. And, I don't know, it just upset me and scared me a little bit for a few reasons. Okay, I think that I have officially messed up, but that's okay, we're gonna fix it, So yeah, then I'll sit here and fill in my brows. I usually do it with my glasses off, so I can, you know what, that's what I am doing. I try to fill in my brows darker over here and then lighter, like at the edge, but yeah, so 2019 has just been so successful for me so far. Like, it feels like I'm really going somewhere in life, and I just don't want, like, part of, like, drama or anything in the ASMR community. Like, the most drama I've ever had with another creator was Tony Bomboni, and, like, him and I have been back and forth for years, and, you know, we finally made up and, like, accepted that, you know, we don't agree with each other, and moved on, and that was it. But it turns out, after talking with Scott, that there's a lot of drama in the community. Like, I don't know, like, you know, just people, I don't know how to explain it, but then, you know, very vague. But then, you know, after, again, being on Twitter for so long, like, figuring out myself that, you know, people really want to, like, smear other people's names, whether it be male or female, because, and it's scary, and you think, like, why? These people haven't done anything. I mean, not the situation I was involved in, apparently they did, but I'm talking about in general, like, why try to smear somebody's name like that? I've been talked about on, you know, different platforms, like, people have made up allegations against my life and things like that, and that's to be expected. But when another creator actually, like, I don't know the word I'm looking for, tries to, you know, bring down another creator, I just think that that's very hateful. It's scary almost. Like, the internet's for everybody. You can't just kick somebody off the internet. Like, that's like something a kid would try to do who's playing, like, Fortnite, and they don't like that somebody else is, like, beating them, and they're like, we need to get you off the internet. Like, it's like that. Like, we're in the ASMR community. We're supposed to be making other people relax, like, not bringing other people into, like, drama. Do you know what I mean? I think this is, dude, look at me. It's doing that thing again. The lighting gets all, like, wonky. So, I'm just really grateful. Like, I never thought that our family would reach this many people. I never thought that anybody ever wanted to hear my voice, you know? Or listen to me. I've had self-esteem issues all my life growing up. Like, I could still, to this day, have somebody say that I look good, and I'll, you know, run out and get Botox or something. You know, thousands of people, just in general, you know what I mean? Like, saying, like, oh, no, you are pretty, you are attractive. And then the one person is like, you have lines on your forehead. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go out and waste all this money that I've worked for and put myself in debt so I can, like, get Botox that, like, nobody can tell. Like, I went out the one day, and my surgeon, he was like, you can't even tell that you got it. And I was like, well, I was like, what? That's horrible. Like, I want to look like I got it. And he's like, no. He's like, the point is to make somebody look as natural. You know what I mean? I'm like, no. But it's just really funny. I don't know. So, but if you are a part of this family, thank you for giving me a chance, and thank you for giving me a voice. It's something I'll never be able to thank anybody for who's supported me through this journey and cared about me and wanted me to succeed and understood and could relate to me and the things that I've been through. You know, we're all sort of in this together. Again, I would never be here if, you know, I didn't have you guys. What would I be? You know? And then me choosing to bring intimacy into ASMR when I still to this day don't believe that ASMR is sexual by any means. It's not. You can make any situation sexual, and that's something that I spoke to this magazine about today, and they seemed really understanding. And then 2 weeks later they'll come out with the article and it's like completely different than me, what I said. Like, that's usually what happens, but it's fine. These people seem pretty understanding, although I know how this magazine works. Like, we'll see though. So yeah, I always try to stay open about my life. You know, there's nothing I have to hide. And being open can cause a lot of problems. It can, you know, open doors for like different allegations to come. It can, you know, cause people to get nervous of me for being so open about certain things, like my addiction and my kids and, you know, my stalker and things like that. And then they get scared and they're like, I don't want to support somebody with that kind of history, you know? So, okay, usually like when these don't match, it's like eyeliner, I'll just like fill it in until it does. Oh, that looks terrible, but it's okay because we're just gonna pretend it is okay, right? Fake it till you make it with makeup. But yeah, you guys, I'm so grateful for like what we are and what we've become and how far we've come. And I never want to ruin that or jeopardize that by, you know, being involved in stupid stuff. That dog sounds like he's farting, but in reality, he's just snoring the wrong way, if there's a wrong way to snore, I don't know. Okay, so this is just gonna have to do, like, I've got nothing. I've got nothing. But yeah. So thank you again, whether you joined our family yesterday or whether you've been here for a long time. You gave me a voice and you saw something in me and you heard something in me, whether that was like ASMR triggers or anything else. The lighting keeps changing. So I'm going to be using, next I move on to my eyes and I do my eyes so it matches my brows as much as I can. And I'm using the Naked 2 Urban Decay Basic. I was going to use a Huda palette, that I bought, but I left it in the bathroom, and the first cut off when I went to like hand my moaning cat to my husband and he latched on. I think that took too long, so we're just not going to waste much more time, shall we? The brush I'm going to be, after I brush it off, using today is the Morphe M433 brush. This brush right here, I think I have to like, there we go. I've been looking for the name of it for like 5 years now, since 2014, and nobody can find it. They said it was the Morphe M433, but it's not, because this is circular and bamboo and thick, and this is like more flat. So if that helps anymore and you can find me this brush, it came in an Ipsy bag in 2014, so there was just, I don't remember the name of it, but yeah, dandruff. So what I'm gonna do basically is I only use 2 colors. I'm gonna use the color Cover and then the color Frisk in my inner lid. Cover, outer. Okay? Does that help? Does anybody want to look like Karuna Satori? You know what's funny is that interview I had this morning, he was like, do you mind if we take a few like screen grabs of your videos? And I know I'm blowing bacteria like right into the brush. picking my eyes, like. But yeah, he was like, can we grab a couple screen grabs and things like that? I was like, sure. I was like, but if you could do one thing and please pick like something flattering. Every single time I'm like mentioned somewhere, like, I know I keep saying like, but in a video or, you know, article or anything like that, they always pick the most unflattering photos of me, and I'm like, do I really look that ugly? Like, can you people not find something that I look adequate in? I'm kidding, sort of, but it's funny. Okay, so basically I use my Sheets card and I just put it up to my eye and, you know, do as much as I can with it, but it's so weird, like, this video will go up and have the potential for anybody to see it. And although today's video isn't me talking about anything too deep, it's the fact that, I don't know what that was, it's the fact that somebody gave me the chance to ever care, you know what I mean? Like, somebody listened to me and saw something in me, and maybe it's because I'm problematic, or I don't know, what do you guys think? Like, my favorite thing ever, and I used to tell this all the time to you guys if you have been here for a long time or if you haven't, what I used to tell everybody, and it's still true to this day, is I wake up in the morning and the first thing I check is my comments on YouTube, and like, I'm constantly responding to like people's stories, like when they update me and tell me like, oh, you know what I mean, like, I just got into college, or I just graduated high school, or I'm feeling depressed today and I wanted to hurt myself. You know, hearing stories like that make all of this more real, knowing that you guys are human just like me. I don't look at you guys like your numbers, and like what I was saying earlier is you go through bouts of that, you know, even in like when people hit like the 10,000 mark, people are like, oh my goodness, I have these many people, and you start looking at the number and you start looking at the money, and it's not about that. That's not real life. Like, that's not a realistic expectation to care about numbers. And do you know what I mean? It's like, why are these people subscribing to you? Like, why do these people care about you? And then you realize that they're the same. Like, of course you guys are not as trash as I am, but what I'm saying is you guys cared and you guys wanted to hear me, and it's a really good feeling. And I'm just picking boogers out of my eyes as I'm trying to like express something really meaningful to me to you guys, but what I'm trying to say is it still holds true to this day. You guys are everything, man. Like, there was a girl who is currently, I won't say her name, but she's like blatantly in the comments, but she's currently getting off of methadone, and as many of you know, and if you don't know, I've been on methadone maintenance going on 9 years this year. 8 years, because it would have been 2011. 8 years this year, February 11th, I believe, 2011, or January 27th. There's 2 different dates for that, but, so basically I just use the inner color and try to blend as much as possible. I have hooded eyes, that's why I use the card to make more of a cut crease. Not a cut crease, but like a, do you know what I mean? So, this is gonna do it again. Okay, hopefully not. I don't know. But yeah, and, you know, every single video she comes on and she updates and tells about like how she's feeling and everything like that, and just like relating. It's so weird. Did I do it again? Yes, it did. What is going on with the light? Like, it's so real. It's like, you guys are my family and I care to hear about like how you're doing. I always encourage everybody to introduce themselves in the comments, because there's always somebody in our family who will respond. I'm using the Kat Von D eyeliner in Trooper Black. It's the tattoo liner. And what I do is you'll see, I do like the lids first and then I do a cat eye. I've been doing cat eye since I was like 13. I don't have any other makeup like care to to do. Does that make sense? Like, I don't ever go for like new looks unless it's like an eyeshadow palette or a different foundation. I stay the same with my makeup all the time. Unless it's for a video. But every time somebody introduces themselves in the comments, there's always somebody to like welcome them. It's crazy. Doing it again, lighting. What are we at? Oh my god, we're at like 42 minutes. It's crazy. So. Then I just do this, like you're probably seeing it, I hope. But I don't know. I just feel like this is the best thing that's ever happened to me. Besides my kids, of course. YouTube. How many people I've met and talked, well, not met in real life except for Scott, but and a few of you guys, like, but I told you guys in my last, like, get ready for me, the time that I met any of our family in person was like when I was at a festival and I was out of my mind, so like, oh god, but just amazing. Okay, I've been using 2 of these because I bought one and I couldn't figure out which one was which that I bought because they were equally trashy, like, coming out. But there we go. So you guys are the best thing that's ever happened regarding, like, hold on. I'm trying to be emotional again. But you guys have been the best thing that's ever happened to me regarding, like, somebody being there for me and caring about me and giving me a voice. And I don't know, like, what would have happened to me if, you know, you guys weren't here. What would I be doing? I know that this year I'm going back to school to be a substance abuse counselor to get my bachelor's. I don't mean back to school, but I mean, like, to college. Because addiction is so important to me. I, like, want to work in a methadone clinic and tell people, like, don't get on methadone. No, it's saved a lot of people's lives, including mine, at this point. But, so to finish off my eyes, I'll be doing the Urban Decay Perversion Bigger, Blacker, Badder Mascara. So, if you've been in the family for a long time, just thank you. Like, I have to this day still never come up with, like, the words to say. Whether we ever reached 100 people or 600,000, like, you guys are important to me. And I care. It's not about the numbers. Even though this is my career now, like, I've done everything to make, like, it's not like I had a job before. What I'm saying is, you know, you guys are family. What is that stupid TikTok meme that everybody's, like, been circulating around? It's like, I ain't got friends, I got family. And then, like, people are, like, pulling up their crappy tattoos like mine, and they're, like, matching. What was that? What's, like, Insane Clown Posse? Is that it? Is that the one that was, like, viral? This, like, weird tattoo on this girl's arm, and she's like, in the background on the TikTok's like, I ain't got friends, I got family. And I'm over here like, what is happening? Like, I don't know why. This is real life. But, so yeah. I just hope that you guys know how important you are to me. This isn't one of those things where, like, it's interesting. I started calling you guys family, and then I noticed other YouTuber creators, like, would say exactly what I would like. The one big quote that I always say is, I love you guys with all of my person, and I'll see you tomorrow. And there was a creator that started doing that exact thing, and I'm like, no, you don't care like I care. But I'm using the Hula Light by Benefit bronzer, whatever it is. I don't know. To some people, this would literally be like it's still too dark on my skin because I'm so pale. But I have the 5-head technique, say it in every makeup video. If you want to know if you should contour your forehead, take 4 fingers, put them above your brow, and if they meet your forehead, you don't have to, but if they go over, you have to. You don't have to do anything. What I'm saying is it's recommended. So, I'm using some like old toothbrush I used in a beauty guru roleplay video. And then I just go straight down. Go straight down. Like so. How bad has it gotten? Not too bad. My goodness, we're at what, 48? Oh god, I gotta finish. I'm almost done. And then I just blend it. Blend it, blend it. Blend it, blend it, blend it. It probably won't show up on camera, but that's okay. I've got like 3 more things to do. I'll probably end up doing that more. You know what? Yeah. It doesn't look dark enough, and then whenever I leave, it looks too dark. Do you know what I mean? It's funny. It's hilarious. It's out of this world. Come on. God. I'm like too rough with myself. Okay, whatever. I'm not even doing this right. So we are done with the eyes, guys. We are done with the face, pretty much. The only thing I need to do now is attempt to highlight pale skin that never highlights, so. Okay, so this is the Sephora Pro Contour in number 79. And I do this. Then I smack it off the desk. I'll blow it off if it's too much, which right now it's looking like it's too much. And my skin's usually dark right here anyway, so it's like I know where to add the contour. And I just do this. Then again. So yeah, basically the entire point of this video was just to let you guys know that my feelings for you have never changed. I feel like this is like some kind of relationship video. But my feelings for you have never changed. You guys have become even more important to me than you were when I started. I feel like the ASMR community as a whole, certain creators, need to start remembering why they're on YouTube, and that's about it. I'm very proud for how far we've come. Sometimes if I'm wearing this choker, because it like takes away the fact that my neck, the foundation's gonna oxidize and my neck is gonna look super, super white compared to my foundation, but I will blend under my jaw to give myself more of a crisp look. And second to last, if I even bother using it, is the Becca highlighter. I had to get a brand new one. And what I do to apply highlighter, because nothing ever sticks to my skin, is, where's my setting spray? I use the Maybelline Master Boosting Spray because it was the only one that I've known. I spray it on these 2 fingers. I dab right here so it gets a little damp. Spray again over here, get it damp. Take my finger, dab it in, and then just apply right here on my cheekbone a little bit. So, you're probably not going to be able to see it. It's gotten dark because of the snow, so unfortunately
it won't show up. That's fine though, I guess. And that's it, guys. Lipstick. Probably use my Huda lipsticks in the car, so the NYX Lingerie in the color Liply number 8. And then I'm having my lips filled permanently February 7th, or I'm sorry, February 19th. So if my lips seem very small, it's because I have to wait until the injections from last time go away. So yeah. That's all I got. I overline them on purpose. Look at that. So dramatic. And that's it, guys. So, ready for the witch. Yeah. Get it. Oh, goodness. Goodness gracious. It looks terrible. No, but. And that's it. I'm wearing like some like baggy shirt. Not fat stomach. Okay, I'm kidding. But thank you guys so much for now that like we're together. If you are part of this family, thank you for joining. And again, thank you for giving me a voice. Thank you for listening to me and my autonomous sensory meridian response when I'm not getting too off topic. Thank you just for caring about me and loving me. And I love you guys. And you know how it is. With that being said, I love you guys with all of my person. And I